Prairie Screamer. The recently relocated Scandia Screamer looks massive in a park containing average flat rides. And while riding this coaster, its drop and height seem even bigger than one might first assume from looking at it. But how good is this E&F Miler coaster? And is it worth seeking out in your coaster travels? Find out in this review. E&F Miler only made 3 larger or high miler roller coasters. Prairie Screamer, the largest of this model by far, and the 2 hurricane coasters at Fun Spot Atlanta and Fun Spot Kissimmee. Mainly, especially for the genre of kiddie coasters, E&F Miler has built solid kiddie coasters that offer a decent mix of airtime and sensations. E&F Miler has also built one Wild Mouse in Crazy Dane coaster and a couple of water coasters, with the only remaining being Big Timber Log Ride at Enchanted Forest in Oregon. When put on a larger scale, these coasters are primed to be solid airtime machines, and it perplexes me that more of these weren't built for smaller or mid-tier parks seeking that decent coaster. This coaster started out as Scandia Screamer, or just Screamer, in Ontario, California, where it operated from 1995 until 2019, when the park, Scandia Amusement Park, closed. Then, it was bought by the State Fair of Texas, located in Dallas, Texas, with the intention of putting it up permanently there. However, when the COVID pandemic hit, the fairgrounds didn't have enough money to keep this coaster, and it was bought by Traders Village as their centerpiece for their Prairie Playland, a smaller amusement park to complement their massive flea market style shops and stalls. I have a separate review of Prairie's Playland, as well as a ranking video of the various rides that they have there, if you are interested in checking those out before visiting. But the park radiates a sense of friendliness and simplicity with basic flat rides that you will find elsewhere, though most were more enjoyable than similar rides that I've ridden at other parks. There were not many shops and stalls open on my visit, as I visited during spring break, but this also meant that lines were a walk-on for every attraction, including the roller coaster. And at $20 for an all-day wristband plus $5 for parking, which they do accept credit cards for if you don't have any cash, this is a very reasonable and affordable way to spend a day riding ride. For those interested in pairing this park with Six Flags Over Texas, Prairie Playland is only about 20 minutes south of Six Flags Over Texas, and you can expect to do everything easily in Prairie Playland in 2 to 3 hours. Prairie Screamer does have a strict no cell phone policy, and employees collected your belongings in bins while you were getting seated in the trains. This seems reasonable, and given the crowds at the park, I don't feel too concerned leaving my cell phone in the station while riding. This park is very nice towards coaster enthusiasts, and they gladly gave me permission to use my chest-mounted GoPro on all the rides. I just had to ask and get in touch with Steve, the director of amusement attractions, and he walked me up to the coaster to let those attendants know I had this permission as well. This coaster starts with a small turn out of the station that doesn't do a whole lot other than turn you around. Then, you travel up what seems to be a really long lift hill. Since this one is nestled inside of the track of the coaster, it feels even longer than the other high miler coasters. Despite being up high with a large RV parking lot directly in front of you, this long, slow turnaround doesn't mess with my fear of heights as much as, say, Hurricane's turn around at Fun Spot Kissimmee. But then, you're treated to a truly special and long drop with the first drop of this coaster. It just feels like you're falling forever. The track isn't super steep, so you don't get a great drop feeling, but you get a nice mix of airtime and a falling feeling. Honestly, Titan at Six Flags Over Texas has one of the longer drops I can remember, and this drop feels about as long even though it's shorter. Maybe because you don't get up to such a high speed. Then you pop back up for a turnaround and more drops. The profiling of these turnarounds is weird, so you won't get much airtime entering these elements, as you might be able to get on a few of the entrances to the other two high milers. These turnarounds also are slightly banked, but in just a weird way. I'm a big fan of laterals on turns, so banking these isn't truly necessary, but the banking jerks you around in such a way as to almost make these turns uncomfortable, though you're going at a generally slow enough speed that you should be fine. It's just not really a pleasant version of roughness. Then you enter another drop. Some will complain that this coaster is repetitive and basic, and likely that's a reason why I just don't rank the high milers as well as maybe I should. But when comparing the two Hurricanes, I prefer the Atlanta version, formerly Screaming Eagle, because it doesn't have a low to the ground turn or a slight turn after the first drop. It just keeps things simple. So the overall simplicity of this coaster is a huge plus, as it allows you to really appreciate everything the drops can give. The second drop isn't as big as the first, but still feels long and satisfying. This is followed by another turnaround and another drop. This drop is noticeably shorter, but still is solid with how these high milers can deliver on medium-sized drops. After the next turnaround, you enter Bunny Hill time. This hill will give you solid airtime as you go over it, and it is slightly lower on the far side, so you get a little bit more of a drop after the nice sustained floater airtime over the hill. Another turnaround and another Bunny Hill, delivering similarly great sustained floater airtime. This one has a slightly larger drop at the beginning, which helps give you a nice sense entering the element, though the airtime is slightly cut off towards the end. The final Bunny Hill has a trim on it that, sadly, cuts your speed in a way that I got no airtime going over this hill. Since most of the trains I went on were rather empty, this hill might deliver more with full trains. But for me, it was essentially a dud, which is unfortunate since those other two airtime hills are great. Then you turn a little sharply into the final brake run to finish your ride on Prairie Screamer. Overall, how good is Prairie Screamer? With how big the hills are on this coaster, I rank it considerably higher than Fun Spot's two Hurricanes, as those coasters just seem to lack memorable elements for me. Prairie Screamer also seems to be hurt from this, but I can truly appreciate and remember how good its first drop and two larger bunny hills are. I rank it above my benchmark mid-sized coaster in Poltergeist at Six Flags Fiesta, Texas, and right below Vortex at Siam Amazing Park, since surprisingly, I actually really enjoy that SLC. For many, Prairie Screamer is likely an even better coaster. Its simplicity just seems to lack the character that I need to help elevate it higher. But as a mid-side coaster that offers solid drops and nice bunny hills, this coaster does a great job giving exactly that. How much do you enjoy Prairie Screamer at Prairie Playland? Does it have really good drops and bunny hills? What coasters do you rank around it? Let me know, and as always, Top Kun Krop.